You are listening and watching an amazing podcast. This is Phenomenon Serendipity, and I am your hostess, Catherine Donovan. Here we have more on Maggie Wolfe. That's right, Maggie Wolfe, Red Hot Riding Hood, Lady Lumberjack, and the big bad she-wolf. And yes, these are references of Red Riding Hood. So, enjoy more on Maggie Wolfe's point of view. Enjoy! Well, it looks like Maggie got some unexpected company. Some people from Sabretooth, which she managed to find. The big muscular guy with spiky green hair is known as Orga. Then there's this blonde haired guy with the red top. No, the red dressing guy known as Rufus. Then there was this beautiful lady. Well, she looked gorgeous. Dark haired, and this was Minerva. And last but not least was the silver haired and really sweet Yukino. But still, Maggie was still skeptical. Even she would often mutter to herself, freaks. I'm surrounded by freaks. Just then they heard a boom. When Maggie heard this, she said, "What in the hell is that?" That spiritual pressure is pretty high, Ikaku said. Yeah, indeed, Maggie agreed. But they thought maybe it could be a monster. Some sort of hollow, as Ikaku pointed out. But they ran into other troubles. Maggie and the others found themselves face to face with a scary guy with dark hair, and he looked pretty creepy. Alongside him was a pink-haired girl who kept calling him Kenny. Kenny, or the creepy guy known as Kenpachi Zaraki, the captain of Ikaku and Yumichika from Squad 11. And the pink-haired girl was Yachiru, his lieutenant. Then there was a big, big boom this time. It was even bigger than before. Now Maggie was curious. Okay, I am not going to ignore that any longer. I'm going to find out what that noise is coming from. She said, "Come on. I want to find out where this sound is." Once they managed to get out of that forest, there they saw in horror was Barrere Devlin using her telekinesis against the soldiers to break their limbs. Maggie and her allies could not believe what they were seeing, as Barrere continued to break the limbs of the soldiers who cried out in pain and begged for mercy, but Barrere didn't. She left them alive, however, but with broken bones and bruises. Then Barrere had tears in her eyes as she picked up the little corpse of a young girl. Suddenly, Captain Kunto immediately had pity on her. Barrere began digging the hole, putting the corpse of the little girl, and then burying her before putting a flower on the grave. Captain Kundo walked behind Barrere and placed a hand on her shoulder. Barrere looked up. Captain Kundo's face was filled with remorse. "I'm sorry," he said. "Why?" Barrere asked. "I didn't know this girl was important to you," he said. Barrere shook her head. "I didn't know this kid, but she was just chasing after a butterfly." a beautiful and pretty butterfly, and they killed her. She was an innocent girl chasing a beautiful butterfly, and those damn bastards of the soldiers killed her. Then Barrere began to see memories of Captain Kundo in his head. She can almost see it. When Captain Kundo heard her say this, he was pretty amazed and had a liking to Barrere for her kind nature and her understanding. Maggie wasn't so sure about Barrere anyways. She knew maybe she could be a worthy opponent one day. Later on, in one of the chambers, Maggie was just with the others as she said, "MPD my ass. Memories and all. I still can't believe there's something like that." Ribbit. Painful memories. I can't imagine anyone playing that, Frost said. Neither can I, Rogue said. That doesn't sound like fun. Who would want someone's memories being played there? Sting said. As long as I don't see any ugly ones, Yumichika said. You know, I think you need to shut up for a bit about the ugliness. We're not talking about anything ugly or any beauty related. We're talking about memories. Jeez Louise, BV said. Well, I don't want anyone to look at my memories, Maggie said. They're just too private for me to let someone see. That's all I have to say, Barrere said. Lector looked at BV. Hey, you know, I think I really like you better than Maggie. Do you think maybe I can start trusting you? Oh, come on. Don't put her down that way, BV said to Lector. BV, you are not going to let anyone cross paths with you or team up with you. Okay? You're on my team, Maggie said with a hint of snootiness. BV glared at her. I can be with anyone when I want to, okay? I'm not going to be just with you. I want to get acquainted with other people. Like in hell we're going to be acquainted with these guys. Please, Maggie said. Sting suddenly got annoyed. You know, you got something against some guys, right? I mean, I can tell you don't like anybody. Oh, who are you to judge me? Maggie said. Why is there to judge? Sago Kito said. He was wearing a sleeping mask. I have to say, you do have problems with guys. You don't know anything about that, and you don't certainly have anything to do with me, Maggie said. Oh, I don't? Well, it looks to me that you have an issue with guys. I have to agree with him, said Sago, referring to Sting. Tell me something. Has men really tried to get in your way? Sago said. Why do you even hate guys so much? Oh, in case you haven't noticed, Maggie said. She cut her hand and blood began to form like something symbiotic as she shouted, I hate men! Then she just sat there and curled in a ball, and she turned away. You don't say. Well then, I hate women, Sago said. Maggie turned to glare at him. You're mocking me, aren't you? She said. Not at all. but I kind of like to see the expression on your face, Sago said. Well then, maybe I should teach you a lesson, Maggie said as she was about to use her blood powers. Bring it on. I'm ready for anything, Sago said, about to get up. But Captain Kundo stopped the two before they could fight. Oh no you don't. I don't want any arguing here. This is supposed to be some sort of teamwork. Maggie turned away. Fine. Maggie said, turning away. An alarm went off, and it looks like Maggie was going on her first mission. That's the end of this podcast. Stay tuned for more coming your way. Sorry about the rush job, you guys, but I didn't want to make it too long because, well, I can't do anything above 15 minutes. That's YouTube's rules. Sorry. But don't worry. I'm glad that you like this, and I hope to do, more. So, I'll see you next time. I'm Catherine Donovan. Thank you for listening and watching. See you next time.